Um, Thanks for joining me today. Today we are biking out to the Iron Horse Trail to go check out some rail remnants. So, come along, will ya? Now that we've buttoned up our shirt and donned our hat, it's time we take a look at the first remnant today on our tour of the Iron Horse Trail, and that is an original trestle bridge, where the Alamo Creek Trail meets that of the Iron Horse. Now, I have no idea when this bridge was built. However, I suspect it could be original to when the Southern Pacific extended their line south from San Ramon to Pleasanton in 1906, or earlier really. And this trestle bridge has a cool feature on it, or rather beside it, which is this old rail supporting the approach to it. I am aware that on the other side there is another old rail that supports some wires going through it. I'm not sure why that's there. However, if any railroaders know anything, let me know. And with that, let's carry on to our next remnant. Now, with the old bridge in the distance here, we're along Amador Valley Boulevard right here. Check out this crossing of the old railbed right here. And I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me or not, but it almost looks like that the ballast kind of indicates where the ties used to go for the track. Now, right here, there's also a wooden pole. However, I'm pretty sure that was just for the power lines that run right here, but one can always speculate and theorize. Now, coming just right off the Iron Horse Trail, there's this little path that leans off to the right, and should you follow it, you would come to this old overpass. Alright, we've gotten a little bit closer to it amongst the oak grass, and it's time we take a look at this thing. Now, this is in decrepit condition. However, this was the old Southern Pacific Bridge over what appears to be a tiny irrigation canal, or ditch really. I'd like to point out that alongside there's some old fence posts with some that have clearly fallen in. And, well, it's almost interesting to imagine steam engines rumbling over it, you know? Now, just across from me is the entrance to Dublin High School. However, if I angle this right, that's right. Just right here, whoa, is an old path to the old railbed. So, let's go take a look at it. Well, we've made it here onto the old railbed. I'd like to point out about the old ballast right here, which, after years of weathering, are all been sort of rounded down and everything. You know, it's sort of interesting to think how when the Southern Pacific built this line in about the early 1900s, it traversed through nothing but open prairie and farmland. Indeed, all the way up until the late 1970s, it still looked like that way. Today, the suburbs have sort of reclaimed all that from around me. However, I think it's always important not to forget how the railroad sort of laid the foundations for development in our valley. And it's still here, somewhat. So, with the Grand Mountains looming in the distance, we've come to the end of the rail line so far, and, well, to the last remnant I want to see. Now, just behind me is Coyote Creek. And long ago, there used to be a railroad trestle that spanned this creek. However, when the Southern Pacific abandoned the line in the 1970s, it was demolished. However, remnants still persist in the form of these old trestle pilings, of which this duck is now enjoying. There's also this concrete here, though I'm unsure if that was necessarily related. Thank you for joining me today on our exploration of some rail remnants along the Iron Horse Trail. I'd like to thank you for watching, and just a little reminder to always appreciate the rare history that's sort of hidden in plain sight. With that, thank you, and I hope to see you again in the future.